What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is a new vlog, a new day, and time for that 360. We ain't even had breakfast yet. You guys gotta watch Infinite Waters videos. I mean, I can't really watch him, like I don't actually pay attention to the content, but his little sayings are a little hypnotizing. I gotta start thinking of some sort of saying, obviously not the same as his. Anyhow, I'm about to have a little shilajit resin. This is a mysterious resin from the Himalayan mountains that is loaded with fulvic acid and minerals. You put it under your tongue. The resin is way better than the powder. That's a lot. Wow. I'm gonna be high as a motherfucker for this video. It doesn't actually get you high, it's just it gets you clean high, you know? It's like having a coffee, but no jitters. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. So let's see what comes to me, eh? Wow, this is gonna be too much. Whatever. It's pretty early in the morning. I've never had so much shilajit. I don't think I've ever had shilajit on an empty stomach. And then I just put in like a triple the normal amount of dose that I use. Okay. So, what do we talk about today? I'm getting way more comfortable on camera with this thing, just going for walks. I care less about what I'm actually talking about and mistakes and slip-ups, and I feel like I could just do whatever I would normally do and bring the camera along, and that's going to be the most fun way of doing this YouTube channel. So, what should we talk about? Let's talk about my first ayahuasca experience. My first ever ayahuasca experience, okay? Was May 2014. I was 7 months into a pretty miserable existence. My breakdown started October 2013, so it's about 7 months later. At that point in time, I think around April, March, I was still taking medications. I was taking, let me see where we are here and how I could enter the park. I was sidetracked. I was talking about my first ayahuasca experience. So I'm still taking these medications and they're making me numb. They're also subsiding the panic a little bit to the point where I actually held down a job. I actually, around, when was it? My breakdown first started when I was working at Marcus and Millichap, commercial real estate. Then I took off 3 months. I was absolutely fucking miserable, panicking 24/7. I couldn't even think about working. And then the medications actually got me to a point of, I don't want to say stability, of numbness, to the point where I actually held down a job. I worked at this company. I wonder if I should just say the names of everything. I don't think it's illegal to fucking, no, because I'm gonna be talking shit about them. I worked at this company. It was a marketing events company. You could find it on my LinkedIn. But I was getting paid really, really well. I couldn't believe, I got a job that people would like fucking, they would be ecstatic with. The salary, the commission, the travel schedule, everything was great. The people sucked. Oh my God. But I actually got an amazing job, and I would sit at the desk a lot, okay? And I did a lot of research on ayahuasca, on depression at this time. And when I first found out about ayahuasca was when I was actually working at this company. And I started doing research, I started watching videos, I started going into the back study room. There was a back study room where you did like supposed to do calls and training. I would go into the back study room and journal about ayahuasca and just spend hours in there. And then I was still the best performer, there was like a bunch of new hires at the same time, and I was above and beyond better than everyone else because I had had previous experience with sales at Landmark Dividend, which is the company that I talked about. My friend Sam, who used to train me about sales, he used to train me, and he was so freaking good at sales, so good at closing deals, so good at getting people on the phone. So I had an unbelievable training that you cannot buy. You cannot buy that level of training. And so I would talk to people as if they were a friend. I would never call and say like, "Hi, this is Josh from Richmond." Oh, I just told you the name of the company. And blah, 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 you know. Whatever, I just won't tag them. Fuck it. So I would call people on the phone, and I would just be real. I was just real. And I always got the meeting. I was closing deals. I was doing very, very well. And I was miserable, but it's still, I just snapped into my persona, you know, the persona that was created before I got sick. So I'm researching ayahuasca, and I decide, I'm like a month into this job, and I'm like, I'm going to the Amazon jungle. I'm quitting my medications. I'm going to the Amazon jungle. I quit those fuckers cold turkey. I was taking like Latuda, which is a bipolar medication. I was taking Zoloft. And I was supposed to be taking Trazodone, which is antipsychotic, but I took it like once a week. I was also on taking Klonopin. So yeah. I have a 2-month waiting period between when it's the time for the ceremony. The ceremony was scheduled for May versus where I was in the current moment. It was March or so. Jeez, I'm actually high from this Shilajit. Okay, so I need to actually ground myself. That shit was like... So I'm at this company. I have 2 months. I quit my medications cold turkey. It was an absolute nightmare going through that withdrawal. Still showed up to work every day. And come May, I flew to the Amazon. You got to realize what a feat it was to actually just go. How many people I had telling me I was nuts. My family petrified for my life, rightfully so, and everyone around me just thinking I was absolutely insane. So I do believe that our family is actually, for many, many people, it's actually a spiritual ceiling, right? Relationship with one's family, because they're invested in you in such a different way than anyone else on the planet, it's the hardest for them to actually give you the truth. The non-biased truth. They're so invested, their own heart, their own soul and belly is twisted up in you that they can never actually deliver the hard truth and put away there and not take it personally, right? You're their offspring. So I believe that a lot of people pick their family, and we pick families that are so difficult to crack out of in order to A, receive massive jewels by cracking out of it, B, to actually force yourself to bring in a level of strength that is foreign to you in order to crack out of it. See, in order for me to go to the jungle, I literally had to accept death, accept that I would no longer have a family. I had to go so deep into myself just to actually pull the trigger and go. So that was the first time that I cracked out of the matrix being oftentimes our family as well, especially if our family is very unconscious, right? I mean, some people have very spiritual oriented families that would encourage them to go to the jungle. Not the case for me. Love my family, but very, very turned off in terms of spirituality. So for me to go was like, holy shit, you know? Look at that. I think that's a hawk. Yeah, it's a beautiful hawk. So I just fucking did it. Something came through me that was just, the pain that I was in was so overwhelming, so overbearing, so unbelievably difficult that I didn't have, even though it was extremely difficult to go, my alternative was just to suffer and what felt like rot away, basically. Okay? So I went to this place called the Hummingbird Peru, okay? Now, I'm not gonna say awful things about this place. I'm also not gonna say great things about this place. If the owner ever watches this video, which would be very, very rare because I'm not gonna tag them, I'm just speaking the truth, brother man. And hope you don't, whatever, you know, I'm not talking shit. I'm just telling my experience, and I've debated writing a review on your page for 3 years now, and I never have. And I think my review would not necessarily help your business, you know? So I'm at this place, and I chose it based on intuition. I chose it because I loved the way this guy wrote. And I chose it because it just felt like a grounded place for me to explore this medicine. And I watched tons of YouTube videos. I read every fucking book. Believe it or not, in all my explorations and all of my emails that I sent, I could only get in touch with one woman who drank the medicine. Of all the people, the messages I reached out to people, reached out to YouTubers, but you know, when you're just a dude with no platform, it's so interesting. Like, I wish people used their intuition in order to respond to emails and respond to people. You know, like today, someone can send me an email, and if they do it in the right fucking way, with heart, with passion, I will talk to them for free. I will talk to them for free. I don't care how busy I am. I don't care how many people I have trying to get in touch with me. I will talk to them for free. And I don't care if they have a platform or not, right? And it's interesting, maybe I just wasn't going about it the right way, but I felt very passionate, and I felt like I was really reaching out to these people with my heart and with my authenticity. But it's just interesting that people, you know, don't get back to you when, hello, good morning. Yeah, that's a swivel lens there. We're catching you on my vlog. All right. So it's just interesting, you know. I wish people, instead of you know, these high level people in the field, in the limelight, I wish instead of looking at what that individual could give to them, I wish they looked at it as, what could I be investing in? I'm always looking to invest my time in young kids. When young kids reach out to me with authenticity, I'm like, shit, yo, here's a free fucking program, and you know, like, here's, I want to buy, or I give them a massive discount. Don't be reaching out to me because of this. We're gonna stick to this way. So in any case, nobody got back to me, you know. I bet you today, now that I have a YouTube channel, I bet you some of those people would get back to me, but that's neither here nor there. So I go to the jungle. This guy's name is Jim, and as soon as we met, there was like an abrasiveness. He didn't hold a good energy. He didn't hold a good space. It was kind of like every man for themselves, you know. He talked to us about it, but it just, man, I wish If I knew what I know now, it's like I could smell these things from a mile away now. I would never have gone to that center without talking to him on the phone. I would have never, whatever. So he was a good man, you know, he had good intentions, but he just didn't hold it down. He could not hold me. That being said, that is not a rarity. During my journey, the 3.5 years, there were very, very few people who could actually hold me. What does hold mean? Well, this is what hold means, and it's a very, very important concept in spirituality, okay? Holding someone means you can A, see what they're going through and not take it personally and not get really scared or caught up in their storm. B, it means that you have achieved, see, there's when you go through something and you come out the other side, you can literally see where someone is as if it was a map, and you're standing at one side of the maze. Now, it's not the necessarily best exit of that maze. There's probably multiple exits of that maze, but you're standing at one of the exits saying, hey bro, you know, you can pick this exit over here. You know, I'm not saying it's enlightenment. You can pick this exit. Maybe you can go into a different maze after you come out of that one. But I'm over here, and I'm not gonna come into that maze with you. I'm gonna stand over here with my light, my lantern, and help you get out of there. And that's what holding is, essentially, right? Holding is when you can do that for someone. And this dude could not hold me because I was going through levels of suffering and levels of torment that maybe he couldn't relate to. Even though he had a huge journey in his life, you know, he went through like massive amount of suicidal depression. For whatever reason, he just was like, the vibe I got from him was like, dude, what you're going through is too much for me, you know? Okay, so all this being said, maybe there's a little unrest in me, but the truth is that I'm not upset with him at all. And I don't actually think he's bad, or I'm not actually trying to talk shit about him, right? The truth is that what I was going through was just otherworldly, and he wasn't the man for the job. That's the bottom line. It's like when you go on a date and they're not right for each other, you don't say, oh, that chick was crazy. No, we weren't right for each other, you know? So, damn, my jersey's coming out. Jersey, ooh, ooh. Yeah, my jersey's gonna come out on these walks, right? You guys are gonna get to know me way better on these walks. For whatever reason, I just snapped into something different. Instead of preaching and teaching, I'm just gonna be flowing. Jersey. All right, so I'm there at this center, and it's fucking terrifying. I hadn't been eating healthy. I did follow the rules for the most part as far as the diet that I'm supposed to partake in. But to be honest, I was still taking Klonopins like a week before the ceremony, and I was just an absolute disaster mentally. So he sits us down before the ceremony and explains to us that we don't want to ever cross our arms, okay? Because it closes off the energy. He also had this massive scar running down the center of his belly, okay? And these things did not scare me. I didn't even think about them. But what happened at the ceremony was so frightening that all of those, the power of the mind, all of those memories came in, and I convinced myself that something terrible was about to happen to me. And all of those memories of seeing the scars and him telling us not to cross our arms, I was like, I'm literally gonna get my organs taken out in fucking Peru. And some dude at my jiu-jitsu gym was like half joking, and he's like, damn, you going to the Amazon, bro? I heard people get their organs taken out there. Like, I heard people get like drugged up and they get their organs taken out for sale. And he said that to me, and like I was like, shut up. And I didn't think about it. Went into this filing cabinet of repressed memory. Then I saw that scar, went into that same filing cabinet, and then he said that, went into that same filing cabinet, and then I drank ayahuasca, and my mind decided to open that filing cabinet, and I freaked the fuck out, okay? My mind had complete control over me as it was without ayahuasca. I was fucked up on ayahuasca. I was tormented as it was, sober, I would get lost in these crazy stories and believe that they were true. So imagine being alone in a foreign country, drinking ayahuasca, this foreign substance that no one I knew had done, with this man and no one knew who he was. About an hour into the ceremony, I'm literally freaking out. Please don't take my organs, please don't take my organs. And it's disturbing to the space, you know? I mean, I was one of those guys that fucking just totally throws off the experience. Though, maybe that was part of their karma to experience someone that fucked up, you know, that crazy or that out of it. And I was throwing up. I also felt this crazy sensation in my belly. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna take this thing out of me. Just went crazy fucking stories. Eventually, okay, I actually came to some sort of homeostasis. And wow, just going through, haven't thought about this in a while. Maybe some of these parts I won't share. Well, I actually got to some sort of homeostasis at the end of this 5-6 hour ceremony. And I was desperately looking for help from this guy, okay? And he was like sleeping. The ceremony was over and I wanted to ask him questions. I needed advice. I didn't know, I was fucking lost. And he slept. And I asked him questions and he's just like pushing me off, shrugging me off. And he said that I have PTSD, and he just used those words, and those words were like knives through my being because I was so fucking fragile. And he just, again, didn't know how to hold me. And so I got up and I started walking around the center, and at this point it's like 1 a.m. I'm walking around the center, and I'm just freaking the fuck out. Heart racing. It literally feels as if the devil himself is like coming out of my skin. I'm like the darkness and like the level of agony that my body was in. My heart was racing as if I just ran a marathon. Every second, just like I was just like, I couldn't turn, and no, everywhere I turned was pain. No thoughts kept me out of it. I would just pace back and forth, like literally, like I was just, oh my God, like nothing could help me. I would try doing push-ups. I would try going for a run. Nothing could help me. And at that point in time, I just walked over to the shaman's house and I just said, ayúdame, which is one of the only Spanish words I knew at the time. And he did this own little mini ceremony. The shaman was an angel. He did like an hour and a half ceremony for me at 2 o'clock in the morning, helping me out, helping me move the energy. And then I felt a little better, and then he left. And then I immediately went back into the panic, didn't sleep a wink. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm 10, 11, 12, 1 p.m. I'm fucking bugging. It's 5 p.m. now. I'm fucking bugging, crying, so scared, so lost, thinking I fucked myself permanently. And we sit down for a talk, and him and his wife were just like, you know, look, we don't have the resources for helping someone like you right now. Agreed. No judgment. They did the right thing there. And I didn't have any money, so I'm like, all right, you guys got to give me some of my money back. Like it's been 1 day, 2 days, and I need money. So they gave me, I think, 1/4 of my money back, and I flew home. And I remember calling my dad at the airport, telling him I was just like, I think I have bad spirits, and he was just like, oh my God, my son lost his fucking mind. And I'm on the plane, okay? I'm on the plane. Now look, this is hard for me to talk about because whatever, it just is. Because, so I'm on the plane, And before getting on the plane, actually, I'm walking around the airport. Again, I'm not sure where I left you. I'm not sure if you missed part of the story, if the camera wasn't recording, but anyway, long story short, they asked me to leave. They said it wasn't right for me. I shouldn't drink the medicine again. And I agreed, and they gave me a refund back, and I booked my flight home. And I called my dad at the airport and was crying and hysterical, and he was terrified. And he promised he would pick me up at the airport when I landed. And I go on this Colombian before I get on the airplane, I'm walking around the airport literally begging people in Spanish for benzodiazepine. I was asking people for Klonopin, for Xanax, for anything. And I was wow, this was a dark day. Begging people, por favor, benzodiazepine. No one knew what I was talking about. They thought I was a drug addict. Eventually, I was doing this back and forth the whole airport for over an hour. A woman comes up to me. This woman, I'll never forget her vibe and what she looked like, but I don't even know her name. I wouldn't even remember her if I saw her again, because I just remember her vibe. But she walks up to me and she says, "Look, I've been watching you walk back and forth this airport for an hour. I don't know what's going on with you. I just can't stand to watch you do this anymore. I have panic issues and I've taken Xanax before, and I'm prescribed Xanax. Take 2 of these. Whatever you do, do not fucking tell anyone. My husband is here and he will kill me if he sees me give these to you." She gave me 2 Xanaxes. They were very low doses, so I took the Xanax and I took a shot of alcohol. And I fell asleep for the first time, and at that point, it may have been like 48 hours or so, okay? And I fell asleep for an hour and a half, woke up in a panic, and I didn't have any Xanax left for me. I'm on the airplane. The whole time I'm just like, when is it gonna pop? When is it gonna pop? I'm literally a bubble about to pop. I can't hold this anymore. I can't do this by myself anymore. I need help. No, you're okay, Josh, you're okay. Oh my God, I need help, going back and forth, about to pop, about to fucking explode. And I eventually break. We're literally 45 minutes away from JFK, and I just start crying in my seat. I call the nurse. I'm like, "I need help. I have panic issue. I forgot my medication. Please help me." I go to the back of the plane and I'm crying hysterically, literally screaming in agony, screaming, "Help me, help me." Like just again, torment, okay? Torment. And eventually they make an announcement on the loudspeaker. "Does anyone have a benzodiazepine? And that we need it in the back of the airplane," in Spanish and in English. Firefighter comes, a U.S. firefighter comes in the back, and a woman comes in the back, a local Colombian woman. The firefighter was there to help me, and the Colombian woman was there with Xanax. And they gave me another super, super low dose of Xanax, and which is ridiculous. They should definitely have that on every airplane if someone has a panic attack. And I finished the flight. They escort me off the plane first. I was the first one off the plane, and I go immediately into airport police, and they start questioning me. They check all my cavities. Okay, they're checking my balls, they're checking my ass, they're thinking that the vibe I got was that they were thinking that I was trafficking drugs, and then I got nervous doing it, right? Or that it was such a bizarre level of panic that they were like, "This dude must be about like hired to kill someone, or like have a bomb or something. Like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?" So I was just very straightforward with them. I said, "Look, I have a serious panic disorder and I forgot my medications at home. I thought that I would be okay with them. I went on a vacation to Peru. I didn't want to tell them I drank ayahuasca." Anyway, I was lucky enough for the guy's son to have been an MMA fighter, and he looked at my ears and he said, "You train?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I started telling him about my credentials, and he let me go way, way faster after hearing about all my jiu-jitsu credentials and who I was, like what I did, you know, and just seeing my cauliflower ears. He had respect, you know. So he let me go, and we went straight into the mental hospital. Straight to mental hospital in New Jersey. And maybe I'll save that for another vlog. Next up, the mental hospital. What was it like? I should do a whole series where I take you on every little facet of the story from day one. Holy shit. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dive into each little piece of the story so intensely on a walk. Deeper than I wrote about, deeper than I shared about in my speech. You're gonna get an inside close up. All right, we ain't even had breakfast yet. Peace.